This is my mom, Rebecca.
Hello.
She always assumed she'd have a job.
Smile.
Then all of a sudden, her story took a turn.
I just got fired.
I want you to write out a list of all the things you could never do, kind of like a bucket list, and I want to do them.
77!
You have one chance at life. For God's sake, live it the way that makes you comfortable. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. This is your life.
I love it. From New York, please welcome Sian-Pierre and his mother, Rebecca. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
You know, Rebecca, you've dedicated yourself to working in housekeeping. Major moments of your life are you really taking care of others. You've invested a lot in this career. To have it so abruptly taken away, explain how that felt for you.
I was devastated. Completely. I never expected it to happen. I was desolate. I didn't want to live.
Oh. Sian-Pierre, when you got the call from your mom and you got your mom's voicemail to hear, and you've witnessed it, how hard she's worked and how that can be thankless, that job, and to have it stripped away in that way, had to break your heart.
Tamron, it was the lowest point of my life to get a voicemail from my mom telling me that she was fired at age 75 with $600 in her bank account after having worked forever, up and downstairs, on her knees, you know, just trying to make a life for me and my brother. It took me out. It truly took me out. And, you know, I needed to do something to take the desperation out of my mom's life, and came up with just the craziest idea to take her on a bucket list adventure, because that was the only thing I thought would make her happy again.
How did you come up with the idea? I mean, were you lying in bed and it came an epiphany, or did you read a book? How did that happen?
It's a great question. You know, I don't remember, but I think the universe was like, yo, your mom is not doing well right now, and you need to do everything you can. I had no money. You know, I didn't have anything saved myself. And so I ended up just launching a Kickstarter to try and make it all happen. And thankfully, community from around the world started to donate to help us get the bucket list finished. And it's been 5 years since the first frame I shot of this film, and we're just so lucky that it's finally out in theaters.
Rebecca, how did you come up with the bucket list? Were these things, again, that you'd read in magazines? Were you watching a James Bond film and thought, okay, Bond went there, I want to do this? Yeah. How did you come up with your list?
Well, I worked in hotels, and every year the same guests would come back, or different ones, and you'd say, welcome back, Mrs. X. What are you doing? Well, my son and daughter have been in boarding school, so I'm going to take them for a brief vacation. We're going to milk a cow. Milk a cow. Have you ever seen Sian-Pierre on the video doing the hip-hop? All loose. I wanted to see the joy. I wanted to feel that joy that I saw in him, like he was a blob of jelly moving around.
Yeah.
I wanted to experience that. I'm a minuet kind of person.
Sian-Pierre, your mission was to bring the life back to your mom's life. And there she is, there dancing. I mean, how do you describe that feeling?
I'm telling you, Tamron, every single time that we went skydiving, or she joined Instagram, where she now has 50,000 followers, like every single time she checked off a bucket list item, my heart exploded. And, you know, a lot of people say that this is a gift that I gave to her, but I have to be honest, it's the greatest gift to be able to see your mom thrive after being kicked down, and also to see your mom as a human being. I mean, so many of us see our moms just as moms.
Yeah.
And I got to ask my mom every single question I could have ever asked her along this journey, and to learn deeply about who she is as a person has changed me forever. And I'm so thankful to have her in my life.
So, Sian-Pierre, I thought you were really touching before the break. You talked about really getting to know your mom and how often we see moms as moms. They're the rock, they're the foundation, and we don't humanize our moms as much as we think we do.
Absolutely. I mean, for our moms are the ones who call us and tell us to come home at night when it's midnight, you know, or they're the ones checking in, and we often think that they're, but, you know, I got to travel back to England to where my mom was born and visit her family, and, you know, really ask her why she made some like really complicated decisions in life. And like, now I look at her as a different person and have a legacy that lives with me beyond her being here. And I think that is like, that's priceless.
What is the one question you would suggest we all ask our moms that you learned from having such an intimate journey with your mother?
You know, I think first we need to listen, truly be present in listening to our moms when they're talking to us. But second, it's how can I be a best advocate for you? Our moms have been advocates for us. My mom has been an advocate for me and my mentally ill brother our entire lives. And this was the first time that I needed to ask my mom what she needed, how I could fight for her. And so many older people are invisible in this society and feel like they aren't here. So asking them, how can I fight for you? How can I make you seen? I think is the most important thing we can ask any of our parents.
Rebecca, I understand you have a new life motto, and it is, it's all about me.
So true. I have learned to live. You know, I have this thing that I just said so many times lately. Before I endured life. Now I enjoy life. I used to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I let my work define me, as well as taking care of, again, he has a brother who's very ill. And it was always with somebody else's time schedule. Now I'm on my own time schedule. And yes, we all deserve to be happy. But now I'm a lucky one. I have Sian-Pierre. Now it's my time to play it forward and make sure this doesn't happen to so many other poor seniors.
I love that spirit. And I do have to ask you, because you said that you're roommates now, what kind of roommate is Sian-Pierre?
Bad question.
A vegetarian one, which I never knew.
I'm telling her, I tell her she needs to eat her greens every day. That's how we're going to keep her here longer. She's a star. She needs to continue
Oh my
to be
gosh,
healthy.
now the child becomes the parent and you've got to eat your vegetables. Well, happy Mother's Day, Rebecca, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so
for
much,
having
Tamron.
us.
Happy Mother's Day.
And by the way, you can catch Duty Free in select theaters now.